Hey Rovers, it is day 5. I'm getting a fairly clear understanding of what the weather is going to be doing over the next few days, thanks to Seahawk, my meteorologist. And I'm going to share that with you. But quite remarkably, so right now you'll see that we've got full sail up, and I'm just going to pan around here. This is pretty interesting stuff. So you can see the sea looks fairly light. We're probably talking waves that are 1 to 2 feet. You can see our wake here. Nothing outrageous, nice and steady. But the real mystery, it's not a mystery, I'll explain it in a second, is the speed we're doing. So you might think we're doing about 4 knots or so, which would be what I would estimate just based on looking at this. But in reality, just flash up the avionics here.
The Wave Rover 650, a design based on my solo ocean crossings. She's small, light, and yet easy to build, but strong enough to cross any ocean.
My name's Alan Mulholland, and this is the Wave Rover story. So take a look at that speed up in the left corner there. 6.5, 6.7, 6.8, 6.6. I mean, this is about 2 knots faster than I would estimate. And the reason is, I'll just zoom in, we have the Bay of Fundy and the Gulf of Maine right here. And the ocean is just funneling through and into there. But I think also right here, George's Bank, and we have a big long canyon running like this. So the water is just flooding through and probably accelerating between the bank and Nova Scotia. So that's giving us our boost. Now, of course, that's going to work against us, and it has been for the last little while, and I was having a hard time understanding why, when you can see that track right there, the yellow line that's going to the southwest, it really should have been more westerly than that, but it was the set from the current that was setting me down. Interesting stuff. Now, the plan. Why am I up here? Why am I not coming down to Stonington? Well, let me explain that too. So there's a low pressure system that's developing down here, and Seahawk's been monitoring this and helping me out trying to work out a plan because I still want to get there. However, Saturday and Sunday, this region, pretty much right up to here, will be winds in excess of 25 to 30 knots. So we've known this for at least a day or two, and because of that, I'm what I call loitering in this area, waiting for this system to pass, because this area down here, the entrance through here into what would be Long Island Sound, is quite tricky. There are shoals off Nantucket, there are shoals everywhere really, and it's quite a complicated little entrance to do in a small boat under sail. So I've been loitering here, and then on Saturday I should be outside of the worst winds. I'll probably get 18 knots up here, and then on Sunday and Monday I'll make my way in, and I really have to be in there by Monday because Tuesday the winds go very light in this area, or so the forecast says. Anyway, that concludes our weather brief. Hey Rovers, look at this sunrise. Well, this is day 4. And we have very, very light winds, probably less than 5 knots. We've got our sail up. I've got one reef in it. I can shake that out, probably will right away. I put that in last night. And we have swells that are probably about 8 feet. Might be hard to see. There's one we're just rolling over right now. There's another one coming. And we have some aquatic wildlife. Maybe a shark, maybe a dolphin, hard to say. Maybe you can help me out on this. Wow, that is one big fin that's following. Not sure what it is. If anybody knows, if anybody can identify from that, I can tell you that it seems to be about somewhere between 12 to 16 inches in height once it's from the body to the tip. Well, I finally got around to hooking up the water pump and fueling the stove, so I'm having my first hot meal of the passage, and yeah, it's quite a meal. Let's see, there's Mrs. Rover's chili in there, a tin of tuna, some instant soup mix, and a little bit of nutritional yeast. That ought to do a body good. The dance of the gimbaling stove. And the jacket. And what does the view look like outside the portholes? It reminds me, I have to bring that rope back in. That was as a preventer. you could just see what I just saw. Two beautiful whales about maybe 200 yards off the port stern here, and man, they were beautiful. The final view I got was them picking up their tails and then diving deep. This area has been just amazing for whales and dolphins and marine life. Anyway, what I did today was set up my anchor because, as I said recently, will be over the next 48, 72 hours we expect quite a bit of wind, and with that I may have to ditch to an anchorage before I can get to Stonington Harbor. It's just a little precaution. So I have 60 feet of road set up, and I'll just show you how that looks. So it's the chain is still in the bucket. There's 25 feet of chain with a shackle and some wires standing by. It'll take me 2 seconds to put it onto the anchor, and there are 3 spots where the anchor is or the road is tied off to the boat just to keep it from flopping around. I have 60 feet tied off at the anchor bits there, and it'll take me just a moment to put the anchor over the side and then let the 60 feet pay out. It's the best solution I've come up with so far for anchoring. I mean, it's a small boat and there are compromises. I like the idea of having the anchor at the stern so that I can pilot, I can control the sheets, and I can control the halyards, and I can put the anchor over the side. Anyway, Rovers, right now it's pretty nice, really. It's about 10 knots. It's blowing from the east, and we're surprisingly only making about 3 knots. We should be making more than that, but this area is full of currents, and they're not like regular currents. They actually clock around instead of going flooding in one direction and ebbing in an opposite direction. These go clockwise. Anyway, learned a new thing. As always, Rovers, thanks for watching, and forge your own adventure.